is CNN Breaking News.
This is CNN News with Lohana Andrade and Jenny Madalam.
Hi!
Okay, and well, a recent Time article is bringing the effects and discussions of concussions back into the spotlight.
The Time article called Concussions, the mind-boggling effects of the brain injury that is confusing doctors, engineers, and football players, goes over the effects of concussions and what they are.
To our viewers out there from all over the world, many of you know football, but probably don't know the effects that football has on the body.
In this specific segment, we will be talking about concussions on the brain.
A concussion is officially defined as a brain injury that causes temporary unconsciousness due to a large blow to the head.
This means that the brain hits the inside of the skull, which causes damage onto the brain.
The brain has mass, and when it is moving, it is in motion, which we call momentum.
Due to Newton's first law of motion, the brain will stay in motion unless an unbalanced force acts on it, which in this case is the skull.
The impact the brain has on the skull causes it to have a sudden change in momentum in a short amount of time, which causes a large impulse.
However, since momentum is conserved due to the law of conservation of momentum, the brain will go backwards and hit the back of the skull, causing another impulse to the brain.
And the brain is a mysterious thing. We are still not completely sure how it works, but the brain still keeps us functioning and working.
And damage to the brain means that we are not completely know how to fix it.
We mainly know the short-term effects of concussions, which include unconsciousness for a short period of time and then a period of recovery, which is hard since your brain is trying to repair itself.
However, the main problem is that we do not know the long-term effects of concussions.
That's right. A recent Huffington Post article states that a study in 2015 shows that 87 out of 91 former NFL players have been diagnosed with a chronic traumatic encephalopathy, you may say that wrong, ACTE, which was caused from concussions.
The article even claims that over 5,000 players have sued the NFL over head injuries, but the NFL is denying that this sport is dangerous.
Well, there are many doctors who are trying to figure out the problems with concussions, and one of their solutions includes creating better helmets and testing out other helmets to determine the best design out there.
Well, yes, and a recent study also called Can Helmet Designs Reduce the Risk of Concussions in Football, tested by Riddle and Riddle Revolution helmets. The conclusion stated that while helmets may never reduce the risk of concussions, the better they are at stopping accelerations, the better they are at preventing concussions.
Makes sense. Which brings up the important question of whether children should play contact sports, which is obviously shown that they shouldn't.
But you see, there's no problem with kids playing contact sports.
Tonight, a must-see debate. Two bitter rivals going head-to-head for the first time.
Well, I believe that kids should be able to play contact sports because at a young age you grasp information more and you'll understand how to play rather than when you're older and you have to take your time and think about like how to play the sport.
Well, at a young age too, your brain is growing and developing, and if you get a concussion or injure yourself, then it can affect you as you're growing up since they're so young.
There's only a small percentage of a chance that kids can get concussions.
But we don't really know for sure how concussions are started, so there are many ways that kids can get it. An article from Bleacher Report states that there are several theories as to what a concussion is and what affects it, whether it is the ability to move or to think, and you don't really know how you're going to get it, so there's not really ways to prevent it, especially with young children. You're not sure how they're going to react to sports or to different things.
But kids are young. They need to learn how to have fun. They can't just be limited to like certain things just because they're scared of getting like one brain injury that's not really possible and there's a small percentage of it happening.
But there are many other sports that they can play that won't have a high risk of getting concussions, and kids can try to avoid that until they're an older age at least, where they know the rules and they're not attacking each other, and there are different things they can do to prevent it, especially at such a young age.
Any sport at any age could cause you to get an injury in any way. Football is just another one of those, and you could still prevent it because kids are smart enough. They can understand how to use like a simple device in less than 2 seconds, better than like even adults, me like 45.
And since they're so young too, you don't know how a concussion can affect them. Like a grown man can suffer so much from concussion, from just one concussion. And a journal from the National Institution of Health describes a man who was concussed 3 times during his time in the NFL. He died at 45 from a gunshot while he was cleaning a gun. And during the last few years of his life, symptoms of short-term memory loss and loss of concentration exceptionally grew. And that's at a full-grown man, especially imagine like a little kid going to school and they can't concentrate and they're lacking behind.
I understand that, but at the same time, a recent interview with Chad Asplund, director of sports medicine at Georgia Regents University, said that millions of people play football, and only a small percentage have been diagnosed with CTE. So they're not really sure that CTE is even caused by football.
But even though there is a small percentage of it, there is still a chance. And if kids are affected by this, they can grow up having mental disabilities that can affect them in the future. I'm Lohana.
And I'm Jenny.
And we're signing off. And if you have any comments or concerns or opinions,
Comment below.
Thank you.
bye. What's CTE? What's CTE?
Concussion.
We
It's a
started off
concussion.
with, it's like the long-term.
It's a concussion? Is that the
It's
same
worse
one?
than concussion.
What the heck?
Concussion leads to CTE, which is like it's not a disease, is it?
Brain disease?
Yeah, it's brain disease
Yeah.
that happens when you're older.
Yeah, CTE is a
Loss of
concussion.
memory, emotional.
I knew that.
change.
Kids should not be able to play should. Yes, agreed with me.
I win. Why can't I read? Why can't I read? Like, do I not know English words?
Lana was like, well, she said, time.
Well, it's like I don't know how to read.
What the hell was that?
That's right. A recent Huffington Post article states that a study in 2005 shows that 87 out of
2005, you stupid 2015.
Jenny, oh my God, they don't know that.
Yes.
It's okay. It's okay. Just
Start from that's right.
That's right. A recent Huffington Post article states that a study in 2005 shows that 87.
2015.
I can't put it under pressure, man.
It's 2015. She said 2005 twice already.
I feel bullied. I'm gonna report you. Murder is a crime in all 50 states. Okay, so put your hair in the front and let's do this.
No.
Jenny, put your hair in front. Put your hair in front again. This is CNN. Can I just say
Kenny's getting
this is CNN
bloopers.
News?
I just realized
Can
that.
I just say this is CNN News? Can I say CNN News because I'm not gonna remember like phone twisters. I can't think.
Breaking news update.
Can't think.
ready, set, go.
This is CNN News with a breaking update with Don't put that in the bloopers.
Are you ready?
Don't put that in the bloopers. I'm not getting that. She already don't like me. Don't put that in the bloopers, Kenny. Okay.